bring you in a little closer. Hello, Endo Warriors. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. As always, I am extremely grateful that you are here. If you are a part of the community already, then thank you for returning. Welcome back. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Bailey M. Bain. It's so nice to virtually meet you. I am a yoga and meditation instructor, as well as a fellow Endo Warrior goddess, if you have not figured that out already. I was diagnosed with endometriosis earlier this year, back in April of 2021. And ever since then, I have been on my channel documenting my journey through my symptoms, my surgery, my recovery, and my healing without hormones. But lately I've been opening up the doors, and as you can tell by this video, I'm talking about the rest of my health and healing journey. I have also Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is a thyroid autoimmune disorder, and I have a genetic mutation called MTHFR. So stick around and stay tuned. If any of that sounds like something you are interested in learning more about and following along my journey, then please, by all means, subscribe to my channel. I post videos 3 times a week regarding all of those topics. So I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's get into today's video. If you haven't gathered by the title of today's video, I am talking about why I went gluten-free for my Hashimoto's, for my thyroid. Before I get into it though, I want to just know, like, who else out there has Hashimoto's? Does anyone else have endometriosis and Hashimoto's? I feel like I see a lot of people with endometriosis and Hashimoto's in the support groups that I'm in, so I'm curious where you're at on YouTube if you're on here as well. So my Hashimoto's is the reason that I went gluten-free 5 years ago. This past Thanksgiving, it marked my 5th year being gluten-free, and it gets a little bit easier every year because you find the gluten-free products that you like and that resonate with you, that feel good in your body. And so Thanksgiving was pretty good this year. I had a really nice meal with family. I tend to bring my own gluten-free things, bring my own gluten-free rolls, bring my own gluten-free stuffing, my own gluten-free desserts, and I go to my mom's house, and my mom makes the turkeys, I make the ham, she does the mashed potatoes, we have sweet potatoes there. It's a whole feast and a lovely, lovely experience. So I had a great Thanksgiving this year. I hope that you did too, and I will likely be bringing some of the same things to my Christmas dinner as well. So about 5 years ago, I noticed that it was kind of in November, like shortly after my birthday. It was getting cold outside. We just did daylight savings time, and a few weeks had gone by, and you know, there's usually like a little bit of grogginess, a little bit of tiredness that comes along with daylight savings, is in the fall especially. And so I thought that that's what it was for me, like why I felt so tired all the time. But like 3 or 4 weeks went past, and I was talking about it to my therapist and everyone at school. I'm like, I am so tired. I'm literally falling asleep at my desk at school, because I was in college at the time, by 2 o'clock every single day. And I was sleeping like between 8 and 10 hours every single night. And so I'm like, I'm getting enough sleep. I'm, you know, taking care of myself. I adapted my self-care routine by this time. I was doing yoga a lot, and I was still like that tired all the time. It didn't make sense. I felt like crap all the time, and it just didn't make sense why I was so tired. But on top of that, like, yes, it gets cold in Michigan. Yes, we have very harsh, cold, icy winters, but when I'm like inside of a building that's heated and I am still shivering with my hat, my scarves, my gloves, and my coat on, and I never took that stuff off when I was in the building, and that's how I know something's wrong. Like, I'm way too cold and way too tired to be in a healthy position in my life. On top of that, when I would wake up, and it's not that bad anymore because I don't, you know, I take care of myself and I know how to handle it, but my eyes would swell up so bad. And if I eat gluten now, that's what happens to me. All 3 of those things happen if I eat gluten now. But I stopped eating. Okay, so backing up. Talking about it with my therapist is like, why do I feel this way? I feel this way. I feel this way. I feel this way. I've got these symptoms happening. And she goes, have you ever had your thyroid tested? I'm like, of course I haven't had my thyroid tested. I'm absolutely petrified of blood work. At the time, I hadn't done the inner work with that, and I hadn't worked through that. So, of course, I wasn't going in for just routine blood work for fun, just to figure out like what was wrong with me. Heck to the no. That was not in my, I was like extremely scared to even do that. But I kind of kept that in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll do some more research on like the thyroid and could it be my thyroid? Like, what is wrong? I talked to my mom about it and she said she has thyroid issues and my grandma had thyroid issues. So I was like, okay, well, crap. If it's obviously genetic, I probably have thyroid issues too. I better go suck it up and get that blood work done. So that's what I did. I had my labs drawn. And with Hashimoto's, it's not something that necessarily always shows up in routine blood work because with Hashimoto's, you find out you have Hashimoto's from the antibodies in your blood. And with your thyroid, you have thyroid hormones that are different from the thyroid antibodies in your blood and the way that they measure for them. So in your routine blood work, they draw your thyroid hormone levels. And when they were drawing my thyroid hormone levels were totally normal and totally fine in the normal range. Your T3, your T4, and your free, whatever that hormone is. But when it comes to the antibodies, this is something that is not your routine blood work. I actually had to voice, can we draw these antibodies and just check them and see and make sure that they are in the normal range or not in the normal range? And if so, like what can we do about healing? So I had them draw my antibodies and my hormones. And again, my hormones showed up totally fine, but my antibodies were both higher than they should have been. And I was like, okay, so I technically have Hashimoto's, but I have the antibodies for Hashimoto's, but my body's hormones aren't reading that I have Hashimoto's. So because of that, there wasn't a doctor that I could find out there who would give me any form of medication to treat Hashimoto's without having my thyroid antibodies affecting my thyroid hormones. So I'm like, okay, great, I'm SOL, but not really because my therapist, my balance has been terrible the last couple of days. Ooh, that was scary. My therapist also has Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So she shared with me some resources, a couple of awesome books. One of them is by Isabella Wentz. It's called I can't remember the name of it right now, but Isabella Wentz has a couple of books out there that were super helpful when it came to understanding the thyroid, understanding some of the lifestyle changes that I could implement. And for a while there, I cut out all gluten, dairy, and some soy, but not entirely soy. And in that first month, I started feeling better. Like immediately, I was feeling better. And the only thing I've really kept up with is gluten-free. For the last 5 years, I've been gluten-free. And I recently had my labs drawn again this past year. When I looked at my labs this past year, my thyroid hormones are still fine. They're still in the normal range. But the only difference is I had 2 antibodies. One antibody is still higher than it should be, and that's, fine. Hashimoto's is something that when you have it for your life. It's not something that you can treat, and it's not something you can cure, but it is something that you can treat with lifestyle changes. So one of my thyroid antibodies is still over what it should be. But the other one is back completely in the normal range. And that makes sense for how good that I feel. My eyes don't look like they used to anymore. I sleep a normal amount. I can, sometimes get away with sleeping less and not be falling asleep at my desk every single day. The fatigue has gotten a whole lot better. And same with my body temperature. I just saw a picture of my grandma, so I know that it's like spirit right here with me, guiding me along my path. But, I feel just so much better. I feel lighter. Like I can go out and actually do things like run a marathon or be physical and be active. When I do eat gluten, I feel heavy. I feel heavy in my body, heavy in my stomach, heavy in my mind. I get that like cloudiness. I get leaky gut. It's like a fluctuation between constipation and diarrhea. Sorry if that's TMI for you, but that's what like stomach issues do. And when you have stomach issues, this is just a little tangent. When your stomach is off, your stomach is a direct link to your mental health. So when you're experiencing leaky gut and you have these essentially holes and porous materials in your gut, and that's leaking these like toxins and chemicals essentially into your bloodstream, your mental health isn't functioning at its highest capacity either. So being able to go gluten-free, I believe, truly has actually helped me with my leaky gut, and in turn helped it contribute to that mental health situation that I've been going through for so long in my life. Besides just the vitamins that I've been taking, besides the genetic mutation, besides the mindfulness and all of that stuff, my body's in a much better physical place to be able to process emotions and be in a healthy mental state. And 6 years ago, I started my journaling experience with, I fucking hate myself. And now I am sitting here talking to you with the biggest smile on my face because I feel so great about where I'm at in my life and so grateful for everything that I have in my life. And I don't have much, but I do have my health. I have people that love me. I have people in my life. I have 3 beautiful dogs and 2 amazing cats, and I'm just so abundant and so grateful for everything that life has given me and this entire journey that Spirit has and is still guiding me through. So that's my scoop. Thank you for being here. I'm extremely grateful for each and every single one of you. Big giant hugs to all of you, and happy holiday season. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Follow me on social media for more daily content. And as always, I'll be back every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday with more content.